What's poppin', guys? You got your boy Nandra here, back at it with another video. This is going to be my Rebirth of Glory Part 1 review. This has my Forest, Sword, and Runecraft thoughts on each of the cards in them. I usually try to make these pretty detailed so you can check it out if you want. So let's go and get started. So first we have Ominous, the Primo Kami. Ominous Primo Kami is a 7-mana 4/5, also 6/7. Has Storm, Fanfare, return 2 other allied cards to your hand. Summon Exo Kami. X equals the number of cards returned. So on average, you usually be summoning 2 Okamis, or you can also summon 1 Okami possibly. Thankfully, there's no hard set number on how many you can or can't summon. Well, how many you can summon in any given situation, but you always have to return 2 other ones. So that part might suck. Now, whenever an allied Okami comes into play, give it Rush. So Okamis, if you didn't know what they were, they're a card in the basic set. They are a 4-mana 3/4 that has fanfare. Whenever an allied follower comes into play, go ahead and give Okami itself a +1 attack. So in this situation, you play this out. Both Okami come into play at the same time, so they both become 4/4s that have Rush. So basically, in a way, this is like kind of like playing an Ektar. Or more likely a Zernitra, because for the Ektar buffs are like temporary, but like for these ones, like they're actually like whole powerhouses by themselves, and that's pretty good. Now, yes, you do get like less creatures overall, but you get like more stats for it, so it's like fine. Well, that's actually not true this time, or no, it's true. Yeah, you actually like more stats overall. Now, this card is very, very strong. This card is strong literally because right now you have a sandwich and a nice like sub for a possible like mid-range forest. Because as long as you have something to do on 5 that's like actually like proactive, you can then go ahead and play Cynthia on 6. Go ahead and evolve that. Cynthia is like 9/11 in the stats. Then play Okami right afterwards, and that's so good. Like it's a lot. It's really hard for opponent to recover from that if you're actually like hitting all that on curve. It's really, really good. Now, I do think that like this card brings Wisp back to being like a possible thing you want to do for Forest. Now, I don't know how many like actual Wisp things we have in rotation still, but for now, like just having Cynthia is enough, and just being able to like bounce berries is really good. You also can bounce the new Roach guy if you have that as well, but most likely that's not gonna happen. Like, because for that to happen, you'd have to have at least like 8 mana. At least 8 or 9 mana, and have your opponent be like dumb and like not kill the Roach when you like expose the Roach. So, but still, this card's great. Like 5 out of 5. Next, we have Miracle of Love. Miracle of Love is a 3-mana legendary spell. It is choose summon either a Gentle Forest Beauty or a Irate Forest Beast and then put it into play, and then hand 6 summon both instead. And then if at least 2 of their cards are played this turn, go ahead and give the summon followers +2/+2. So we have the Gentle Force Beauty here. It's a 2/3 for 3 that has ward, and it also gains Bane if you have her partner, the Irate Force Beast, into play. And then the other one is actually going to be the reverse, which is going to be a 3/2 and has Rush and gains Storm if you have the girl in play. So this card is like a take on Beauty and the Beast, except it's like different. In some ways, this card's good because if you have to play it out early, it's like much better. If you have to play it out later, it's a little bit worse, because you have like way less stats, but you have more you have it split up into creatures, so it's like good. But for me, this is just like you have way less stats. Now you do get almost the full stat value if you can play it out. Or no, I lied. You do actually get the full stat value. You do get the full stat value if you can play it out when you play 2 other things in that turn. So again, this is yet another card that actually like wants you to play Wisp and actually rewards you for doing that. So because you can go like Wisp into Miracle of Love, and then boom, this is suddenly a 4/5 that has Bane and Ward, and then this guy is a 5/4 that has Storm, and that's really good, and it's like 10 stats. Now, I don't know where this card's going to see play, because I feel like this card's just going to be one of those cards like, it's like nice looking, but it has a lot of competition, because like if you want to play this on 6, then it has to compete with Cynthia. If you want to play on 3, well, if you play on 3, like you can't feel like you're like losing on stuff, because like playing a 3-mana legendary spell to get Blitz Lancer or playing it to get Grimnir is like, what? Yeah. Next, we have Whirlwind Rhinoceros. So Rhinoceros, this is a retrain on Rhinoceros. This one's pretty interesting. This one kind of like combines the Holy Light archetype with like that of like the Roach archetype, which is pretty interesting. So this one is Fanfare, gain +X+0. X equals number of allied Rhinoceroses you played this match. I guess it has to be exactly this one, the whirlwind rhinoceros. And then if X is at least 5, gain storm. So basically with this deck, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to play 8 total roaches over the course of the game. You have to play the first 5 to get storm, the first 5 to get storm. But then, as long as you're able to play that, the 5th roach does 6, 7th roach does 7, and then the 8th roach does 9. No, sorry, just 8. I'm sorry, just 8. So that's 21 damage. But you have to play the same card 8 times. That's kind of hard because bounces aren't cheap. Bounces are not cheap unless you're playing Okami, unless you're playing Omnis. But you can't actually play Omnis with this. Well, I mean you can, but but you can't in the sense of like it's like not practical. Now, that being said, though, of course there are a lot of die-hard roach enthusiasts out there. So I'm sure someone is going to find a way to actually make this into a deck. But for now, I kind of like err on the side of, well, possibly needs a few more cards before it becomes good. Because like it's not like old roach, because old roach you can just sit on your laurels, do nothing, clear the board just enough, maybe like poke me in the face or 2, then combo me off, and then kill me. But in that kind of situation, you only play roach like 3 times, maybe 5. But now for this one, you have to play roach 8 times. That's way more. You have to have bounces each time. Yes, he does have the evolve effect that like lets you bounce back your hand. But the issue, right, is that that's a false positive, because like most times when you're using evolves, you have to use evolves to trade. If you're using evolve just to bounce this guy back to your hand, that's really bad, because like you can't trade with this card, like because like it's gonna die. It's really gonna die to whatever it tries to fight, and that's like kind of questionable. Now, yes, obviously the evolve package does make this like a little bit better, because you can just like use the evolve package to go ahead and clear the board. But still, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of effort when I could just be playing Eva Zudi instead, and then use all of those evolves and just like kill you that way. So I don't know. I'm a little bit unsold. But you know, hopefully, like I said, one of the Roach Mafia will be able to go ahead and improve me wrong. Now we have Guard of the Machina Tree. Guard of the Machina Tree is 2 mana 2/2, has ward, fanfare, return another ally follower or amulet to your hand. If that card is a Machina card, draw a card. This is great. So you want to use this card to bounce roach and things like that. So you might be able to see like a Machina roach deck come into play, but I don't know. I just don't know, chat. Next we have Wellspring Elf Princess. This one is 2/2 evolve, put a fairy wisp and a fairy into your hand. This is nice because again, I don't know how many ways we have to generate fairy wisp, and I don't want to play Arboreal Core. Arboreal Core is hard trash. Like I don't know. Next we have Malal the Wing Shredder. Malal the Wing Shredder is a rechain on Fairy Driver. So this one's like really cool though, because like it has Rush, and then it also has whenever an ally fairy, because it's played, destroy it. Whenever an ally fairy is destroyed, gain +1/+1 and deal 1 damage to the enemy leader. So this is kind of nice because like, so basically he's a sort of like weird like stat transfer kind of card, because you're gonna play him. You're gonna play him, then you're gonna play a bunch of fairies. He's gonna get bigger. The fairy's gonna die, but your opponent's gonna take 1 damage. So in a way, he's almost like the old fairy trip, but not quite, because like he himself will still need to attack in order for you to get the full value. But he's also a very, very big creature. Yes, he has Rush, but we're still gonna be doing this in rotation. In rotation, it's really hard for creatures to just kind of live or whatever. Like creature has to be like overwhelmingly large for it to live, and even then there's still like certain class that can just like kill the creature anyway. So I don't know. Next we have Nature Corroded. Nature Corroded is destroy a enemy follower or an amulet and then put a fairy into your hand. Now this card, I don't think this card is gonna be good, because well, I don't think this card is gonna be like that good, because like right now in rotation, most of the things you want to kill, they usually require banishment, and there's literally a card in this set that does banishing as well. But if we're talking from like a popper perspective, this card's better. Because obviously, of course, the card I'm talking about is a gold, and then of course popper is just like bronze and silvers, I believe. So next we have Heroic Fairy Champion. I don't like this card at all. This card is a card that you kind of like overpay for. So it's a 4 mana 2/2. That's already way under par stat wise, and it has fanfare. The next time damage is dealt to this, this follower, reduce the damage to 0, and then fanfare enhance 8, gain +3/+3. Yeah, so like you're paying a lot of mana to basically get like a really shitty, really vulnerable roly poly. but roly-poly is way better because he's so roly and poly. But honestly though, yeah, I don't like this card that much. Like this card's better in limited formats, but it's pretty bad in constructed. Dryad of the Grove. Dryad of the Grove is a 5-mana 4/4. Fanfare, put 2 fairies in hand, that's very good. Flash, give the enemy follower -2/-0. That's also pretty good as well. So it's a permanent -2/-0. So whatever fights this card is if it's not dead, it got mained. It got mained pretty hard, and it stops up the low free to be able to kill it with like other things possibly. But also just having the clash effect by itself without needing to evolve for it means that you can just like play this out, and then your opponent literally can't kill it. Like they have to evolve, right? So if you play it out as a 5/5, your opponent has to have a 4-damage removal spell, or they have to evolve a 6 damage creature into this to kill it, and that almost never happens. So it just kind of sits here, like it just kind of sits here and says, "Hey, like fight me, can't fight me." Well, I just sit here and I just kill all your creatures. Now, next we have Mechaclaw Elf. Mechaclaw Elf is very good. It's fanfare if you have another Machina card is played this turn, gains Storm. So this kind of makes the electromagnetic Bagworm from last set. It makes that card a little bit better, just because you can now play the Bagworm on 3, then play this card, and then you have 4 foreign stats, and then you get to go face for 3 or trade if need be, and that's pretty good. Now, I like this card a lot because this card kind of like slowly pushes you into a more aggressive Machina Force game plan, which is good because that's like where you wanted to be with that deck, because like you top out at the Mechalance Elf. At Mechalance Elf, like he does face damage, right? He does face damage, but like the way he does face damage, like it's not that much because like it's like conditional face damage unless he's like attacking you directly. But most times he's attacking a creature and then dying right afterwards. So you want to be able to like play in such a way that like, you know, he hits your creature, or he hits the opponent's creature, they take like 4 and then they just kind of die. Not you play him out and then the game's still going. That you want to try to get away from that kind of like game plan. And then lastly, we have Harvest Season. Harvest Season is a 3-mana draw 2, and if at least 2 other cards were played this turn, draw 3 instead. So this card again, it's good with Wisp, but the card itself is expensive because in order for you to actually draw the 3 cards, you have to spend minimum 5 mana to do so, and that's a lot of mana to be spent drawing cards. Now, that being said, it's good for combo decks of which Force is a combo class. Now, you can use Wisps and Fairies in order to proc the thing, but again, this is rotation. Like, you can't just like free ball and draw cards or whatever unless you're ahead. If you're trying to do it when you're behind to try to recover, that doesn't really work, especially not when your classes really have like a consistent AoE. Like the best they have right now is Burst Shot, and they have Aria's Whirlwind. But Aria's Whirlwind, again, like I said, it's kind of hard to play that sometimes, so I don't know. Next, we're moving on to Sword. So first we have Alwida, the Pirate Queen. Alwida is a 7-mana 5/5, falls to a 7/7, has Accelerate 4, randomly summon 2 of the following: Cannoneer, Buccaneer, or Marine Raider. And then whenever you play a loot card for the first time on each of your turns, summon a Pirate and Viking. If you didn't know, Pirate and Viking are the tokens from not standard, are the tokens from, I want to say D. And one of them is a 3/2 that has Storm, and then the other one is a 2/3 that has Ward. So yeah, the Pirate is 2/3, and the Viking is the 3/2. Alright, so we're gonna go and scroll back up so you guys can see the other tokens. So these are the tokens they get when you sell the Alwidas. One is the Marine Raider. Marine Raider is a follower strike. Whenever this follower attacks an enemy follower, do 1 damage to that follower. So basically, it's like whenever this follower attacks, gain first strike, deal 1. That's it. And then last words, put a Gilded Blade in your hand. Gilded Blade is a 1-mana deal 1 to an enemy follower. So it's really, really good. Next we have the Cannoneer. Cannoneer is just Rush, and then last words, put a Gilded Boots in your hand. Gilded Boots is 1-mana, gain Rush. And then we have Buccaneer. Buccaneer is Drain. Now I think Buccaneer is actually probably like the best of the 3 of these. Sorry, yeah, I think Buccaneer is actually the best of the 3 of these, I think. Just because it has drain, and you can put a Gilded Goblin Trance. So basically, like, you can heal for a lot with Buccaneer, possibly. Like, if you have an evolve point, you can heal for up to 5 if you're willing to like suicide the Buccaneer. Also, I'm totally not biased by the artwork, by the way. Plot champ. But yeah, the Alwidas though is very, very good. So Alwida is much like Cynthia as a giant stat bomb. So if you have the 1 mana and the treasure to play with the Alwidas, you basically turn your first treasure you basically turn your first treasure each turn while the AoE doesn't play into a 1 mana 5/5. 1 mana 5/5 before you can do whatever else the treasure was going to do. That's good. That's great. That's ridiculous. But especially because you also get a storm and you get a ward, so you can possibly protect the AoE and go ahead and keep it going, keep it moving, and that's great. Now, this is one of those specs in which is just a very good effect. Now, it's not something that you're gonna like build your entire deck around, but it is a very nice top end to end at. Just because if you have this and Latham, it's very good. It's a lot of power. It's a lot of potency. Now, that being said, one of the things I also like about this a lot is that like under Latham, you can possibly get up to four star attacks in the next turn as long as you have a Gilded Boots in your hand already. Because you can just go ahead and play Gilded Boots on all Weedas to go ahead and then you get the pirate and the Viking. The Viking attacks, you get a knight, trade the knight in. Alweda's attacks, you get another knight, trade that in. Four attacks. Easy. Next we have Albert, the Levin champion. He is a 5 mana 3/5, evolves to a 5/7. He has Storm, Fanfare Enhanced 9, randomly put different Levin followers, excluding Albert Levin champion from your deck into play until your area is full. And then he has Strike, whenever this follower attacks, gain +1/+0, if another allied Levin card is in play. So this card is very good. He's good because he has Storm in his base form, has a lot of beef in terms of HP or whatever in when he gets evolved, making it very difficult to take out. Like as an example, if your opponent plays Series actually does not kill it. It comes close but doesn't quite kill it, and also takes 1 billion damage in return. The enhanced 9. That part's the where this thing gets interesting, because like you get to pull 11 cards from your deck. Currently, I believe we have. I believe currently we have exactly 4 right now. Exactly 4 in addition to him. So you'll be able to flip the board completely. And as we've seen before, Nethus type effects, those are all pretty good, but of course they're only as good as the followers that you pull from the deck. So of course, like as we're going through this sword cards, we just quickly take a look and just like see, okay, well, what kind of synergies can we make with these cards? Next, we have the Autoblade Patroller. Autoblade Patroller is probably like one of the best cards in Sword, I think, going forward, and it's definitely gonna be like one of the reasons to play Machina. So this is a 3 mana 2/2, right? 3 mana 2/2. It's a Machina, and it has fanfare if at least 2 other Machina cards are in your hand. Gain +2/+2. So 3 and a 4/4 possibly on curve. That's ridiculous. Into the evolve. The evolve is if another allied Machina follower is in play, destroy an enemy follower. So when you're evolving this card, most times this card is usually going to be a 6/6 that blows up a creature and it kills another creature, and it's just a 6/6. Yikes. That's ridiculous. Next we have Meet the Levin Sisters. So the Levin Sisters are Mina, Mona, and then Mina. Alright, so they each do different things, and then of course this card has an enhanced 7 that lets you add all 3 of them into your hand and then recover 6 play points. So the first one is Mina, which is put 11 follower from your deck into your hand. So basically it's just like a Mage leader except for like 11 cards, and it's like much better because like right now there are only so many 11 cards. So this can help you search for your Albert or your Geno, but realistically you just want to search for your Albert because your Albert will pull the other one from your deck. Next we have Mona. Mona is recover 2 play points, and then if another allied Levin card is in play, recover 3 instead. This card is great. Like this card is a nice party starter. So this card can help you go ahead and like activate things like say Geno and whatnot, which you're gonna cover as, when we find them. And then last one is Mina. Mina is a 3/2, which is like somewhat unimpressive, but like if you have another allied Levin card in play, you can go ahead and get +1/+1. The gaining +1/+1 is nice because like, alright, so the idea here, right, is that you go ahead and you play it on 7, right? You play it on 7 to play Mina. Mina gets your search. You then play Mona. Mona goes in and gets you back 3 play points to then play Mina again, and then to then play the other Mina, and that one gives you that one is a 4/3 rush. That's a lot of beef at once. Again, it's a lot of beef, and you play it on 7, so like your opponent has to deal with all of those that turn, or you just play Latham. And just win, or they kill anything. You just play Latham anyway, and to possibly Albert, and just like dunk your opponent into the ground. That's ridiculous. Very good card. I expect this card to most likely get nerfed if like the Levin deck becomes good, or expect Levin deck to like not be good because they have this card, and then because they know they have this card. Next we have Slender Fencer. Slender Fencer is a 2/1 that has fanfare, give an ally follower, give an ally officer +1/+0, and then enhanced by give that follower storm. So this card currently is not that good. The reason why it's not that good is because 1, you have to pay a lot of mana for the effect. 2, most creatures that you play that were officers that have that much attack that could also gain storm, that requires you to spend a lot of play points in the first place. So most times you're usually spending about like 8 or 9 play points, when if you're playing an aggro deck, you should have already killed them by then, just because, well, I'm playing aggro. 3, additionally, if you're going to play aggro, just play the ambush aggro. It's so much better. It's slower, but it's better. So I don't like this card. Next we have General Levin Stalwart. So this card I was talking about earlier. So General Levin Stalwart is a 2/2, can evolve an allied Levin follower each turn for 0 evolution points until this bar leaves play. So basically, it's like an aura effect, essentially. Now, this card is great because, again, as you've seen from like things like Lunes Mage, as well as things like the Rune Monica and whatnot, giving it free evolution orbs across multiple turns is very broken, very ridiculous, because it gets off hand, because you get essentially getting a free 2/2 each turn on top of other possible potential bonuses and whatnot. That's like ridiculous. It's so fucking good. It's just god. Additionally, the fact that this guy is also Levin, which means you can pull it off of Albert. So on the Albert turn, you can go ahead and you can have a 4/5 attacking Albert. You can have this going to evolve something. I'm not really sure what you would evolve, but eventually they're probably going to slip up and make like a creature free to want to evolve, and then boom, suddenly there you go, Bob's your uncle popping off. Next we have the King's Welcome. King's Welcome is a great card. It's a 1 mana spell. Put a random commander card from your deck into your hand. Again, that's important that says card, because that means that like in the future, if they make commander amulets, you can go ahead and search for those using this. Like for example, you can search. You can't search for working, I don't think, but something like that. All right, if you can evolve and have more evolution points than your opponent, subtract 1 from that card's cost as well. That makes this card broken as hell. But just because like there's some things you can do, like for example, like you could potentially play like an all officer or neutral type deck, or whatever, then play King's Welcome to search directly for Latham, and have Latham go down being 7 cost. So 7 cost Latham is no joke, or 6 mana Alweedus, those are no joke. Like just because like we get to play certain like high impact cards ahead of schedule. It's really good, as we've seen from Dragon. Whenever on like any set where Dragon's been like really good, just yeah. Next we have Lunes. Lunes is one of the 11 cards. So this one is spam per game +0/+1 for each 11 card in your hand, and then enhance 3 can attack 2 times per turn. So I don't really like this card that much, but I do think this card is pretty neat, because like it's a it turns into a very beefy 1-drop that like possibly just goes up by like, I don't know, becomes like maybe like a 1/4 or like a 1/5 or whatever on 1, which is pretty funny, because like that's pretty damn good stat line. I think this card will be a lot better if for example there's like other 1-drops in the format, because this card literally just sits and gobbles up 1-drops for days and just keeps going. Like this one card can literally trade with like 5 1-drops. That's ridiculous. Of course, yeah, it's gonna be slow and it's gonna take some time, but just the fact that they can do it and just sit there and just ignore your opponent. Oh, also, if they don't kill it and they just like play like they just go ahead and you play Geno, then Geno just gets to attack, and then you start killing even more units, and this is like really annoying. Next we have Levin Archer. Levin Archer is evolve. If there are any 11 cards in your hand, deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. So this card is one of the cards you're going to want to play. They're going to want to evolve on your 11 turn, because it has a very good evolve effect. So if you go for the Albert, you can go ahead and get a 4 attack evolving Albert, a 4/4 that deals 3 to a creature. So you can possibly clear up either 3 creatures, or you can clear up 2 and go face for 4 or something like that. That's pretty good. Next, we have the veteran Vagabond Frog, who's seen a few wars. He seems pretty tired. Yeah. So this one is much more balanced than the last one. So this one is fanfare gain ambush until the end of the opponent's turn, and then enhance 6, gain +2/+2. It's really important that you play this for the enhance 6 most times, because like he does not gain stats on evolve, but when you do evolve him, he gets permanent ambush, so that's really good. However, we are now in a format where there's more ways to kill ambush units, so that makes it not as good, but still, again, very good. And then we have Brave Intervention. Brave Intervention is put a random Swordcraft follower that costs 2 play points or less from your deck into play, and then deal 4 damage to enemy follower. So this card is very, very good and very, very bad at the same time. So this card is good because like dealing 4 to an enemy follower is good because like that's 1 damage for 1 mana, but you also get the 2/2 in play as well. So you can go ahead and play this out. Get the 2/2, then evolve the 2/2 into something else, and then kill that as well. It's also targeted, so you don't have to worry about any like, oh, what if this hits a 1/1 or something like that, and I'm like made to feel bad. However, where this card falters is the fact that like you don't get to choose what you get to pull out from the deck. If you have to choose, this card is actually busted. Because you don't get to choose, there are a lot of cards in Sword that like are very, very like a lot of 2-drops in Sword specifically that are very, very reliant on you being able to like proc their fanfares in order to be good. As well as like some that they like prefer to like play for a possible like choose effect. Like so for example, if we still had Celia, the fact they had a chance of just randomly pulling out Celia from your deck and feeling bad because you can play either Storm Celia or board Celia is kind of monk-ass. But for now, this card's pretty good. I don't know if this card would see play because 4 mana is a lot just to get a 2/2 and kill a unit, especially when it's like Sword doing this. But maybe, just maybe, it's good enough. I don't know. And then next we get a Rune. So first we see Ginger, a cursed word. So Ginger, a cursed word is possibly one of the standout cards from the set. This is gonna be one of the cards that people are most looking forward to playing with. I know I am. So this has fanfare. Put a Ginger's Curse into your hand. We're gonna scroll down and look at that real quickly. Ginger's Curse is a 0 mana token spell that says change the cost of a follower in your hand to 1, and then change its attack and defense to 1 as well. So this card is very, very broken. The token is very, very broken. And then Ginger herself has evolve. Give your leader the following effect: at the start of your turn, put a Ginger's Curse into your hand. So basically, you can start adding these over time. But if you play it just for the fanfare, you only get 1. But so this is very, very broken. So I've already said this is broken like a few times now. But let me go and explain why. So there are a lot of cards in the game that like have very, very good fanfares, but cost a lot of mana. If you made the card cost 1, then they become very, very good. Like for example, Arbiter. Arbiter, as you saw in Alter Sphere, was already very, very good. Just because like if you got like 2 cards that from your opponent's class are like discounted, there are a lot of different combinations of discounted cards in the basic set that like become very, very strong. Like for example, if I get a 3-mana Sage Commander, that's broken. If I get like what else? If I get a 1-mana Okami, broken. Like things like that, right? Now Ginger lets you do now imagine if you go ahead and you can play the Arbiter for 1 to then play extra free cards. Oof, good. Or imagine you can play Olivia, which we'll talk about later, for 1, or imagine you can play Zeus for 1, and so on and so forth. Like this card creates like some very, very crazy combos. I'm actually looking forward to playing this card. I'm still playing with this card quite a bit because I definitely think this is gonna be a very strong deck when we actually like figure out a good list for it. Because like this is gonna be different. Like this is gonna be like kind of like old Ginger except different, because like this one, like you're not going into like one like big swing. I don't think you're gonna do like little micro combos like after you get everything going, and it's like overwhelm your opponent with a lot of value. So it's gonna be pretty good. I like it. Oh, also the fact that she's not a 9-mana card, because she does actually get discounts. So whenever you actually you like make evolves or whatever, which again is gonna be a pretty key thing here. Whenever you actually evolve creatures, you actually, as long as she's in your hand, you actually get to cost reduce her. So if you get to play this card way ahead of schedule, like for example, if you get to play this card around like turn 7 or so, you can start getting things popping off and getting things started pretty quickly, which is like good. There's also a few potential infinite mana combos, which we're gonna talk about later. Or I say infinite, but I say infinite with like quotation marks. Next we have Erasmus, Master Summoner. Erasmus is a 6-mana 4/6. That's a very, very good stat line. And then has at the end of your turn, deal 4 damage to a random enemy follower. That's very, very good. And then at the end of your turn, deal 4 damage to the enemy leader. That's also very, very good. So this card can see play in a lot of different decks. Like this card is actually one of the first Runecraft Runecraft cards that's like good enough that so Runecraft legendaries that's like good enough to see play across every single rune archetype. Now will he? I don't know, but he's definitely good enough to do it. Next we have Melvie, Princess Witch. Melvie is whenever you play a follower, gain +0/+1, and then whenever you play a follower, whenever you play a follower, gain +0/+2, and then whenever you play a spell, gain +2/+0. So this card is interesting. This card is one of those cards that, like, I think on paper you can kind of like see like a lot of like weird combos for it, but in practice, I don't know if this card's actually gonna be like that good. Like this card is one of those cards that, like, it becomes good if for some reason that not only do the Ginger decks become good, but the Ginger versions that use Arbiter become very, very good. Because what you can do is the Arbiter is not limited it's not limited to giving just followers. It gives you anything from the basic classes. Like there are a few classes that do have a bunch of spells in them. Like for example, Runecraft, where if you play this card and then you start like playing a bunch of creatures and playing a bunch of like discounted spells and things like that, then suddenly this card becomes like a 1-mana. It could easily become like a 1-mana 5/5 or whatever if you're like willing to burn a Evolve point on it. Or sorry, not 1-mana 5/5. 1-mana 7/5 or something like that if you're like willing to burn a Evolve point on it and start playing like discounted cards. So it's very, very good. It's very, very cute. Next we have Mysterium Project. Mysterium Project is select the flaw in your hand and then put a copy of it into your hand. So yes, you can use this to copy Zeus. You can use it to copy Arbiter. If you copy Arbiter, that's ridiculous. That's like truly the epitome of value town, because like getting out multiple Arbiters for like 1 mana and then getting way more cards in your hand is like very, very nice. It's very slow, but it's nice. We have Emily Smilemancer. So this is basically like the Earth version of Carl. Or sorry, the Burn version of Carl. Like, so the other version of Carl, he healed for each Sidru you had come to play. This one does 1 damage for each Sidru you have come to play. This is very, very nice. I like it quite a bit. Very, very cute, very cute looking card as well. Now let's bring Dirt Burn Rune back into the format. I don't know, because like right now people really like the Hybrid Rune, because Hybrid Burn Rune does way more damage, like really quickly. We have Mechabook Sorcerer. Mechabook Sorcerer is spam for a giver leader of the following effect. Whenever you play a Machina card, recover 1 play point. This effect is not stackable and lasts for the rest of the match. But see, the issue here, right, is that Machina Rune didn't really work. Like literally, right now for Machina Rune, you're literally playing Machina Rune just because, like, well, Tetra's good, Delta Cannon, aka Sonic 4 is good, Mecha Wing Angel, that's good. And Vagabond is good because it gives you repair mode for 1. But if you have to play this card for 5, that kind of slows down your ultimate game plan, which is that, oh, well, I'm just gonna play Ryo. I'm just gonna overwhelm you with all the value from both Ryo, Adjudication, and yes, like Ryo, Adjudication, and then Solomon spell, and then just like win from there. But this card doesn't actually line up with that game plan. And the regular Machina game plan of just playing like regular Machina stuff, I don't think it's like big enough. What this game plan is doing. Now, yes, you do have the fact that you can like draw 1 billion cards now, but you can already draw 1 billion cards if you're just like playing Spellbush Rune. So it's kind of like beat on like every access point. So I don't know if this card is gonna be good enough to see play, or is even gonna like actually like make like different Machina Rune like be a thing on the map. I really feel like it's not though. So. Next we have Disintegration, which fire name, fire artwork as well. So this is a 5-mana spell. Banish an enemy follower. If you have at least 20 cards or less in your deck, recover 4 play points. So this is like insane. This card is one of those cards that, like, it's gonna be really, really ridiculous in like limited formats, because like 1 mana banish is 1 mana banish anything is nuts. Like straight just nuts. I can't believe that they would like print this card after what happened with some of the other, like, if you have 20 cards or less in your deck thing or whatever. But damn, they did. Now in constructed though, this card gets less good. If Abyss Summoner didn't make it so people wanted to play it, so people actually like played to like solve success 20 cards or less deck in rotation, I can't imagine that 1 mana banish any creature does the trick, you know. Next we have Jetborn Witch. Jet Broom Witch. Jet Broom Witch is spam for cheese. Put either Assembly Droid or a Repair Mode into your hand. Again, Assembly Droids are the 1/1s, and then Repair Modes are their 1 mana heal ones. Now again, this isn't Rune. Now one thing that's interesting is that you can play if you're playing if you have the emblem from the creature, from the Mecha book, you can play this for 1, and then play either of these for 0. So you can play a lot of cards in that 1 turn. But I don't like, again, like, like, to what end is the issue here. Now, right now, I don't actually see an end for that, so. Next, we have Twin Blade Mage. Twin Blade Mage. If you're confused as to why this was printed, this is basically a Blade Mage retrain, just because Blade Mage was very popular way back in the day. So this one is basically a 2 mana more is a 2 mana more copy of Blade Mage that has Storm and has fanfare, deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. So we play this card, or we play Blade Mage. In opposite, of course, in Unlimited, you probably just can play Blade Mage. In rotation, if you're going to play this card, well, cool. You probably just end up playing this card just because, like, there's no Blade Mage, and you just want to be able to go more face, more faster. Other than that, though, yeah, it's just kind of there. Now we have Electro Katie. Electro Katie, 1 fire name. It reminds me of this one webtoon I'm reading right now called Elixir. Now, this one is, once again, it's for the whole 20 cards or less archetype. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. Deal 2 damage to an enemy singular. So you can hit anything you want. Just, but I don't think it's that good. I don't like. I think it's like really like low impact. In limited formats, though, it's like way more annoying because it's basically like a goblin that goes space. So it's crazy. Well, not really a goblin. It's like a fighter that goes space. There we go. And then lastly, we have the Witch's Cauldron. So Witch's Cauldron is just, it's a retrain. Now, Witch's Cauldron was already pretty good when last time it was in rotation. So I expect this time is going to be pretty good as well. Just because, like, drawing cards while burning face is, well, really good. Really good. So I would expect this to be the same as well. So yeah, so that concludes part 1. Part 1, like I said, was just the Forest, Sword, and Rune. Next, we'll have Dragon, Shadow, and Blood. And then lastly, we'll have Haven, Portal, Craft, and Neutral. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching, and I will